And Big Spring. This is ABC Big 2 News at 10.
Developing now at 10, we start tonight with new video of federal and local law enforcement in the Basin. We were there in West Odessa today when agents and deputies were standing by preparing to arrest a man on 2 felony warrants. The Ector County Sheriff tells us that man arrested is also facing pending charges related to a hoax device found at the Ector County Courthouse earlier this week. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Rob Tooke. Now we are getting a new look at the suspect, 37-year-old David Paul Finnegan. He's been arrested for tampering of record with no bond allowed and for felony theft. And that was a command from the sheriff's office telling David, the suspect, to come outside with his hands up. All of this happened this afternoon in West Odessa on the 3500 block of Galahad by Morris. Neighbors were asked to stay indoors. The streets were also blocked off. Finnegan was taken into custody around 4 o'clock. Now, the sheriff said Finnegan is facing pending charges, again, related to that hoax device that was found at the Ector County Courthouse on Thursday. On April 7th, Thursday, a woman, an employee, entered the courthouse and, she found the suspected pipe bomb just outside the courthouse. Odessa Police Department's bomb squad destroyed the device later that morning, but investigators from OPD, Ector County Sheriff's Office, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Bureau, as well as the FBI, remained on the scene for several hours gathering evidence. The sheriff is calling this a very active investigation. Also developing tonight, a fast-moving house fire in Big Spring. Mayor Shannon D. Thomason said on Facebook 3 houses and 4 lots were burned this afternoon at West 9th and Creighton. 3 houses were lost and approximately 8 people were displaced. Now, the mayor said there were no serious injuries, but 1 person was taken to Scenic Mountain Medical with breathing difficulties. Mayor Thomason said Red Cross and emergency service chaplains have made accommodations for the displaced families.
And now your local weather authority forecast.
A good amount of dust kicked up earlier today as we take a live look now from our Midland Tower cam. We can expect more winds to come. There is also a red flag warning in effect right now. Here is ABC Big 2's Bridget Sarpong with a check on our weather for us tonight.
And now your forecast first on ABC Big 2 News.
Well, happy Saturday, a sunny Saturday in the Basin, but also a warm Saturday in the area. We currently do have fire weather watch, red flag warning going on in our Permian Basin area. Brewster, Colesburn, Jeff Davis, Presidio, along with Big Lake, Fort Stockton, and the Midland Odessa, along with Big Spring. We'll have that and see that until 12 a.m. Central Time. So do be sure to take the necessary precautions. I'll have more of those precautions later on the show. Back over to you, Rob.
Thank you, Bridget. Now to a traffic homicide investigation involving the death of Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins. He was tragically killed earlier this morning in Florida after being struck by a dump truck on a South Florida highway. He was just 24 years old. Here's ABC's Alex Perche with more details on what happened.
Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins died Saturday morning after he was struck by a vehicle while walking on a South Florida highway. Florida Highway Patrol confirming the accident, saying the 24-year-old was pronounced dead at the scene after being hit by a dump truck, but did not offer an explanation as to why Haskins was walking on the highway. After a standout 2018 season at Ohio State University, Haskins was selected 15th overall by Washington in the 2019 draft. He played 2 seasons in Washington before being released by the team. He then signed with Pittsburgh in January of 2021.
It's a sad day in Pittsburgh, you know. A young kid with his whole life ahead of him, with a promising career. It's just sad.
The young quarterback was in Florida training alongside other players as he prepared for his 2nd season with the Steelers. Coach Mike Tomlin releasing a statement saying, "I am devastated and at a loss for words," adding, "He quickly became a part of our Steelers family upon his arrival in Pittsburgh. I am truly heartbroken." Steelers linebacker T.J. Watt on Twitter saying, "The world lost a great person today." Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
Across Texas now, Governor Greg Abbott announced this week he will start busing migrants coming across the border to Washington, D.C. He's also ordering Texas state troopers to perform safety inspections on vehicles coming into the state. ABC's Marky Martin has more on this plan and the pushback.
Governor Greg Abbott's plan to bus immigrants from Texas to Washington, D.C., an immediate response to the White House ending the Title 42 emergency health order come May.
We are sending them to the United States Capitol, where the Biden administration will be able to more immediately address the needs of the people that they are allowing to come across our border.
Abbott says migrants will not be forced onto the buses, but offered the opportunity to go.
It's one of the worst cases I've ever seen a political piñata theater in the history of Texas.
Domingo Garcia is the president of LULAC, the League of United Latin American Citizens. He says many migrants won't board the bus as they travel to family elsewhere, but he is concerned about the migrants who are most vulnerable.
When you have a Texas Department of Public Sheriff with his cowboy hat and cowboy boots and a gun and a badge, that can be very intimidating to an immigrant who just arrived here from Ukraine or El Salvador, and they might think they have to do that, and it's not voluntary.
So far, not a single bus has been loaded. Abbott also announcing state troopers will immediately begin safety inspections on commercial vehicles after they cross ports of entry into Texas. State officials acknowledge the move could snarl traffic, but one they say is necessary.
We don't need probable cause to do safety commercial vehicle enforcement inspections, and that's what we're doing. It's not a subterfuge to locate crime. It's simply to make sure that those vehicles are safe when they enter Texas.
And these aren't the only measures Texas is taking as the state prepares for more migrant surges. This week, National Guard members began riot training drills for encountering large groups. They are also staging boat blockades and planning to place razor wire along the Rio Grande in low water areas where crossings are frequent.
It's sad when America's borders start to look like the Berlin Wall, where we're putting barbed wire on top of walls and fences, where we are dehumanizing people. And these are people, most of them Christians.
And caught on camera tonight, the arrest of a teenager accused of lying to police. It's part of the investigation into the shooting death of another teen who police say died after taking turns wearing a body armor vest. Now, Connor Hansen has more on this report.
Charges. Joshua's being charged with manslaughter, aggravated manslaughter. You're being charged with false information. Was he subpoenaed for Miranda when he was talking? No, it doesn't matter. He gave false information. I got mine. Now, what actually happened? I got mine. So we've already talked about that in a minute. Okay.
I'll take it one more time. Please.
Love it. I got my mom.
Police say the teens were standing inside a bedroom in this mobile home when they traded off shooting each other with an armored vest on. Joshua Vining, just 17 years old, has now been charged as an adult with aggravated manslaughter of a child. And Colton Whitler, also 17, has been charged with misleading police, allegedly telling them someone else was responsible for shooting 16-year-old Christopher Brode. Officers found Vining doing CPR on Brode, who had a gunshot wound to the chest. The 16-year-old later died in the hospital.
I walked out past my truck and I saw a teenage boy come out of that trailer next door screaming all hysterical.
This next-door neighbor was woken up by the gunshots. He says he knows the teen charged with manslaughter. Tells us he thinks Vining was a good kid. What was he like?
What I know of him, I mean, I guess, you'd say a typical teenager. I mean, I know they don't really realize the consequences of some of the stuff they do.
Police say 2 other teens were there when the shooting happened and told them Brode shot Vining with the vest on first before they switched places. Investigators say they have a video showing Vining shooting Brode several times. According to the report, Joshua Vining told police the gun belongs to his father, who left it there for protection. We're told the father's often gone for work.
And well, the weekend is here and it ends the Permian Basin with warm temperatures and clear blue skies. Will tomorrow have similar weather conditions? I'll have that answer when we get back.
And a special fundraiser is soon taking place for a local girl fighting a rare and serious form of epilepsy. We introduce you to her next. And we show you some of the best looking cars in the Basin, the second annual Redneck Roundup. All that and more coming up after the break.
Distracted driving can happen to anyone, anytime. Eating, doing your makeup, and the #1 culprit, texting and driving. Did you know that texting and driving is 6 times deadlier than driving under the influence of alcohol? If you've been injured in a wreck from distracted driving, call HQ Chiropractic anytime, 24/7. HQ Chiropractic will get you the help you need when you need it.
It's the home makeover sale at Furniture Row. And right now, every sofa, dining table, and bed is on sale. Plus, get 4 years no interest financing. And check out special purchases while they last. The home makeover sale, on now at Furniture Row.
Sunday and Monday.
Ahoy, matey!
The top 24 perform at Disney's Aulani Resort.
In Hawaii!
And it's all up to your vote.
You might win the whole competition.
American Idol, Sunday and Monday on ABC.
Hi, I'm Susie with Susie South 40, and we've got the Rabbit Habit. And we want you to come shop with us. We've got more stuff than we've ever had for your baskets.
There's still time to shop for Easter, so we invite you to come by Susie's South 40 Confections and save 30% on all Easter items and sugar-free chocolates, April 4th through the 9th. They have tons of candy and decor this year for you to customize your Easter baskets. Hope to see you soon at Susie's South 40 Confections in Midland.
The Vineyard, Midland's premier master planned community, impeccable high-end luxury with resort-style amenities. These Silverleaf homes are located close to Green Tree Country Club and are walking distance to Faskin Elementary. Contact Alexa to schedule your private showing.
Your damaged vehicle may not know about the COVID-19 outbreak, but at Classic Auto Paint and Body in Midland, we do. We follow all CDC guidelines, disinfecting the common touch points of your vehicle before we work on it, and again before we give it back to you. Don't let COVID-19 stop your vehicle from looking its best. Call Classics Auto Paint and Body, home of the limited contact repair process. Stop by today for your free estimate at 400 South Baker Street in Midland.
Looking for great sleep at a great price? Denver Mattress has you covered. And during the incredible value sale, check out the Summit Firm for only $249.99, plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Say goodbye to sleepless nights and shop Denver Mattress today.
Get ready for your day with meteorologist Ryan DePhillips. And now, your local weather authority forecast.
Well, happy Saturday. The weekend has finally arrived, and I know everyone was looking forward to it because some warm summer-like temperatures really throughout the entire Permian Basin area. In Midland, Odessa, 14 degrees warmer this same time yesterday, 20 degrees warmer in Big Spring, over in Seminole, 12 degrees warmer, and then some other places did just pretty much just increase. There was not one single area that did not go down in their temperatures. A warm day in the Basin. Taking a look at our average, around this time in April, we're definitely used to highs sitting at 79 degrees. But today we came in super warm, sitting at only 88 degrees. Today warm, but not as warm as how we were back in 2019 when we sat at 96-degree temperatures. A warm day for both our highs and then kind of short of our lows. It did come in only at 42 degrees when really around this time in April, we're definitely used to 50-degree temperatures. But hey, we'll take it because back in 1973, we're only sitting at 20 degrees. So we'll take those 22-degree warmer temperatures. Now, as we make our way into Sunday, we're going to have it, pretty mild, sitting at 56 degrees, one of the warmer kind of mornings we've had in a while. And then we will be seeing our winds traveling 10 to 15 miles per hour west. We're going to continue to see some of that wind action causing us to have a fire weather watch. Only in Brewster, Carlsbad, Jeff Davis, and Presidio, but not just there, but really in Big Lake, up above us, the Midland, Odessa area, Dryden, Fort Stockton, Pecos, Van Horn, Marfa. This is all going to last until Monday, midnight Central Time. Now, with that, we do have a couple fire weather headlines for you. With low humidity, fast winds, and warm temperatures, that's what causes us to have these fire weather watches and warnings. So do be sure to avoid activities that cause a spark or a flame. Wear some sunscreen, but also hydrate because we are sitting pretty warm for this time in April. Now, these winds, we will be seeing them front and center by the time we wake up for our early early risers getting ready for church or whatever you have in that morning. Pretty much sitting in the double digits, traveling 15 miles in Midland, Odessa area, 20 miles in Big Spring, 10 miles in Seminole. So really the entire Permian Basin will be seeing some wind action, and right at 6 in the morning we'll be seeing in the Guadalupe Pass 22 miles per hour. Now I do want to bring our attention over into 6 p.m. That's when we increase really the entire Permian Basin in Midland and Odessa area, 22 miles per hour, tying with Big Spring, tying with Seminole, and then we have Hobbs sitting at 23 miles per hour, tying with Pecos. But we travel even higher with our winds. In the Guadalupe passing at 26 miles per hour, Carlsbad 26 miles per hour around 6 p.m. And then we get into our Monday around 3 a.m. That wind is still going to be in our faces, front and center. So we do advise that you hold off on any kind of activity. Now as we make our way into 7 in the morning, we'll be sitting at 56 degrees, partly cloudy a little bit. Our winds traveling 13 miles per hour, but we won't stay at 56 at all. By the time we look at that 7-day forecast, it will show that we will be sitting at 91 degrees, pretty breezy. That's just what is going to happen tomorrow. The sun's going to be out, great temperatures, but it's going to be windy. So Rob, one thing I am going to advise for all of us, drink our water, wear some sunscreen, and hold off on any kind of, I know we want to grill because it's going to be nice out, but we got to hold off on that.
Absolutely. Bridget, those winds are something that fire crews are watching, so we're definitely going to keep an eye on that. Thank you so much. Well, new at 10 tonight, we want you to meet Emma. She's a local from Odessa, and tomorrow a special fundraiser for Emma is taking place. Her parents say she suffers from a severe form of epilepsy called migratory partial seizures of infancy as a result of a KCNT1 gene defect. Emma's parents say it's incredibly rare and only affects 2 other children in Texas. Emma was diagnosed when she was 2 months old. She's now 3 years old. Now tomorrow, that fundraiser is a crawfish boil. Her parents hold it each year in Odessa and normally donate the proceeds. This year, they've turned it into a fundraiser to help with medical costs.
They can expect a wonderful heaping portion of crawfish and shrimp, of course, with all the fixings, potatoes and sausage, corn, a side of cornbread, a dessert.
Yeah, those are her parents, Heather and Patrick Chadwick. Patrick is an officer with the Odessa Police Department. The family says there has been tremendous outpouring of support, but for them, the most important thing right now is raising awareness about epilepsy.
So more than anything for us, it's raising awareness on epilepsy. Epilepsy is one of the most undiscussed disorders out there. And for us, there's so many people that live with forms of seizure disorders. And unfortunately, our daughter has one that's very debilitating.
Now, proceeds from this fundraiser will also go towards remodeling a bathroom to make it more accessible for Emma. The family is inviting you to stop by tomorrow, anytime from 4 to 7. It's happening at it's happening at 7 Toro Court in Odessa. Donations of $25 are welcomed, and just look for the OPD Cruiser. Also new at 10, a good turnout in Stanton for the 2nd annual Redneck Roundup Car and Truck Show. Check it out. Hot rods, rat rods, classic cars, monster trucks, bikes, muscle cars, lowriders. I'm just naming all the cars I know. There was a lot going on. Gates opened at 8 and closed around 4:30. Proceeds from the show are going to the Gift of Hope House of Midland. Now, last year, the Redneck Roundup Car and Truck Show donated $50,000 to the Gifts of Hope House in Midland. I just want to take a few seconds to admire the cars. I'll also mention some of the contest categories that went on today, like Top 100 Awards, Best of Show, which got you $1,000, then Judge's Choice, People's Choice, Best Interior, and Best Engine. I couldn't stay long enough to see who won, but I did go around and speak with a few people about their cars and being at the show. I even got to meet the Blues Brothers.
We used to do the Blues Brothers show, and we built this car together, and it didn't take that long. We spent maybe 6 months on it, something like that. So it went together pretty quick. This one did.
35 Chevy Rat Rod we built from the ground up. It's got a 350 Chevrolet in it, turbo transmission.
I mean, it's an entertainment. Being able to see different vehicles, different projects, what other people like to inspire with their rides in their life.
And we've had it several years, remember why.
make a lot of car shows. We enjoy it, and it keeps us busy. Keeps us out of the house.
My favorite car is a motorcycle.
Yeah, a lot going on there today. Well, an Odessa motorcycle group is working to make sure everyone rides safely. The Full Throttle Inc. is celebrating 8 years of being a local black motorcycle organization that prides themselves on being a pillar in the Odessa community.
Just because we ride motorcycles, we all got jobs just like every person that doesn't ride. You know, we bring in a lot of professional people that also ride, you know, that fellowship with us. We have doctors, lawyers, police officers. This can be done without any violence.
The group says members travel from Fort Worth and Oklahoma to meet once a year to ride and show solidarity within a club that some say others may view as having a bad stigma around it. Now, the month of May, next month, is motorcycle.
And now your ABC Big 2 Sports.
As I was saying, the month of May is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. Now, at the Masters this weekend, world #1 Scottie Scheffler coasted into the final round with a 3-shot lead after shooting 71 in the third round of the Masters. Scottie Scheffler is leading by 3 strokes. Tiger Woods, meantime, wrapped up his third round with a 78 6-over par. It included 1 4-putt, and Woods himself said the real problem with his round today came from the putter. ABC's Steve Harrigan has more from Tiger.
For me, I had a tough time, and I felt like I didn't really hit it that bad. But I had 4 3-putts and a 4-putt. I mean, that's just like I hit 1,000 putts on the greens out there today.
Woods' return to tournament play comes 14 months after a single car accident left him seriously injured. There were concerns about whether or not he'd be able to walk again, even concerns about possibly amputating his right leg. That leg contains rods, pins, and screws. Woods has joked that his extensive medical team is almost like a NASCAR group of mechanics trying to get him ready to compete each day. Many consider it remarkable that Woods was able to come out here and compete, that he was able to make the cut and play on into the weekend, but that's certainly not going to be good enough for Tiger Woods. Before the tournament began, Woods said he expected to contend.
And coming up on ABC Big 2 News at 10, the future of cryptocurrency and will it soon take over? Why some investors are taking a big risk to be a part of it. The latest from a big conference coming up next.
Chick is your new favorite seafood place.
I didn't know Golden Chick had catfish. It's great.
Crispy on the outside, flavorful on the inside.
Farm raised, hand breaded, and now you can get it with shrimp.
It's fantastic.
Golden Chick. What's a better combo than that?
Technically nothing.
You've been dismissed.
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 Cable news networks have decided they only want to appeal to the extremes. They only care about half of us.
And if you don't agree with their point of view,
you're dismissed.
It's about time somebody did something. At News Nation, we are here to bring you back.
Back to where we aren't yelling at each other, but telling all of America's stories.
Come back to the facts. Back to balance.
Come back to the news. News Nation. News for all America.
Let's reconnect with faster internet from Suddenlink to unlock the power to stay connected wherever you are. Get reliable 300 meg internet at home for $29.99 a month. Plus add Optimum Mobile to get it free for 12 months. This way you can stay connected, connect faster with your friends, and connect to more devices everywhere. Get 300 meg internet and add Optimum Mobile for free to get complete connectivity at home and on the go. Let's reconnect at Suddenlink.com or call us at 800-972-5757 today.
MCM, brink and roll, right onto the front, rolling, hanging with your crew, letting the good times roll, and the music flow right through, rolling, oh, turning up the groove, you gotta go to the place that puts a smile on your face, it's MCM, brink and roll, right onto the front.
Fueling our cars, our homes, and our local economy, gas, oil, and electricity are all powering the Permian. I'm Matt Fonz. Watch my reports every Wednesday night at 6 and 10.
Watch Powering the Permian every Wednesday night on ABC Big 2 News. real steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com.
A new survey finds 16% of Americans say they have personally invested in, traded, or used cryptocurrency. So there's much interest in a conference in Miami about its future. ABC's Deidre Bolton has more.
It's a sign of the times, a modern-day wild, wild west.
There's no U.S. Marshal, there's no town sheriff. You are pretty much on your own if you're holding any amount of cryptocurrency in bulk.
For many of the 35,000 people at the Miami Bitcoin conference, those risks are worth taking to be part of what they see as the future of money.
The proof is in the pudding. We have, headquarters that have moved in eToro and blockchain.com that are providing, hundreds of high-paying jobs for this community. So that's real.
The gathering has doubled the number of participants as last year.
This crypto bull from TradeStation really symbolizes how the gravitational center of gravity of the country has moved from San Francisco in venture capital and private equity in New York to the city of Miami.
This high-tech looking bull sculpture is similar to Wall Street's iconic one. The laser eyes acting as a nod to how crypto believers express themselves on social media.
Crypto, on one hand, is all about peer-to-peer currency, right? Like transferring value, storing value without the intervention of a central bank or government.
But the lack of government oversight leaves many officials in an awkward position.
The Treasury is fully behind the benefits of innovation, but at the same time recognizes new products, new technologies, can also bring risks.
One of those risks is the speed with which money can be stolen.
10 years ago, you could not make $100 million, $200 million with hacking, right? And now that is a normal, almost weekly occurrence in the cryptocurrency world.
With roughly 23,000 U.S. businesses now accepting Bitcoin and over 300,000 transactions a day, the government is taking action. Last month, President Biden signed an executive order calling on government agencies to weigh the risks and benefits of using blockchain and cryptocurrencies.
Caught on camera tonight, a cargo plane breaks in two. What exactly happened? Up next. And as we head to break, a reminder that if you see news happening, share your videos and photos on social media with us. Make sure you use the hashtag ABC Big 2 News. And if you haven't done it yet, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We are ABC Big 2 News.
ABC Big 2 Sports, brought to you by Glasheen Vaez and Enderman Injury Lawyers.
This is the sound of connecting.
Good morning.
Of learning, creating, competing, bonding.
How's he doing? A lot better.
This is the sound of fast, reliable internet. A fiber-powered network.
All right, push.
Delivering speeds up to 1 gig.
Absolutely.
And whole home Wi-Fi. So all your devices stay connected. This is the sound of Sparklight. A stronger connection.
What makes best reviews the best reviews?
Ooh, pretty colors.
They have an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations.
Oh, no, Count Bristol. We settle this dispute through dance.
To give honest, reliable recommendations on just about any product you can imagine. So you can be confident that whatever you're buying is right for you.
Faster, Count Bristol, faster!
Whatever you're into. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Even if you don't get a tax refund, you can dip into the Bob Mills Free Fund on me. This 12-foot sectional in top green leather, all less than $80 a month. Now, dip into the Free Fund and get the $800 matching leather ottoman free. The Free Fund.
The NHL on ABC.
Sponsored locally by the Odessa Jackalopes.
Next Jeopardy, Matea Roach. 4 wins, over $100,000. And now,
another win today would really solidify your spot in the next Tournament of Champions.
Next Jeopardy.
Are you looking for a job in the fast-paced world of news? ABC Big 2 is currently hiring for the following positions. Qualified applicants, head over to yourbasin.com and click on Work for Us under the Jobs tab.
Caught on camera tonight, a cargo jet broken in half after sliding off the runway during an emergency landing in Costa Rica. The crash shut down the airport, but no injuries have been reported, thankfully. ABC's Kaylee Basin takes us through that investigation.
A DHL cargo plane was forced to return to the airport and make an emergency landing in Costa Rica after the crew detected a failure in the plane's hydraulic system. You see the plane on the runway, smoke coming from the back wheels as it tries to slow down. The plane then spins and falls in a ditch where it snapped in two. The DHL cargo plane left Costa Rica's Juan Santa Maria International Airport and was en route to Guatemala. But just 35 miles into their journey, they noticed a problem and requested permission to return because of the problems with its hydraulic landing gear. There was a crew of 2 on board, and neither one of them were injured. According to DHL, an incident response team has been activated and an investigation will be conducted with authorities to determine what happened. Airport officials say the accident forced a shutdown that lasted hours. 57 commercial and cargo flights were disrupted and at least 32 other flights were diverted to alternate airports.
And coming up after the break, Bridget will have one last look at the forecast. Stay tuned.
1947, DQ made the first soft-serve cone in Texas. 75 years later, you're still enjoying it. To say thanks, we're celebrating with 75-cent cones across Texas. Stop by your local DQ for a small cone, original or dipped, for just 75 cents. From the iconic curl to the crunchy chocolate shell, we love making the treats that make you smile. Celebrate with us today.
DQ, that's what I like about Texas.
Someone under the influence hit us head on. My mother was killed instantly. If you're going to go out for drinks, give your keys to someone else, but don't drink and get behind the wheel.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach. Not everyone can say them, but we can. Made in America. Visit your local dealer for the Made in America BGA 57 battery blower. Real steel. Find yours.
Share West Texas takes it back to the 90s this year. Join us in your freshest 90s outfit for a chance to win a prize. The largest walk in the Permian Basin, celebrating all individuals with special needs, not just those with autism. Profits from this event go to funding share programs for kids and their families. The mile-long walk will take place April 23rd at the Grande Communications Stadium. To join, give, or form a team, visit Share West Texas on Facebook or call 432-818-1257.
We're your local weather authority. We warn you first. Our team is working around the clock to keep you and your family safe. What you need to know on ABC Big 2 News.
Well, before we take a look at that last the forecast, we do have a fire weather watch going on in the counties Brewster, Carlsbad, Jeff Davis, and Presidio. Not only there, but in the Middle Odessa area, Van Horn, Pecos, Fort Stockton, Dryden, Marfa, really the entire Permian Basin, lasting until 12 a.m. on Monday Central Time. A couple headlines for you guys. When it comes to fire weather, it only happens because of low humidity, fast winds, and warm temperatures. So do be sure, I know it's going to be nice out, but avoid activities that cause spark or flame when grilling. If you are going to grill, just really keep a close eye on that. Wear sunscreen, but also do be sure to hydrate because we are going to be sitting at some really warm temperatures. 91 degrees, that's really hot. And it's also going to be breezy. So whatever activity you do have going on as you plan for your Sunday, just be sure to watch out for the winds and make sure you hydrate on that.
Well, thank you, Bridget. And that's all the time we have for news tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. See you tomorrow night at 10 o'clock.